This is a 1950 Ford two-door sedan, and it was a 6-cylinder car that I took the 6 out and put a nice good old flathead V8 in, all rebuilt. I mean completely rebuilt, stripped down, new pistons, bearings, valve job, adjustable lifters, you name it, it's got it, and it does run like a top, all new parts. Probably did this in 2012. And I can't believe I'd have more than 5,000 or 10,000 miles on the whole rebuild. So, a little dusty from sitting in the garage, but it looks nice. It's a solid car. It's all together. It's by no means perfect. It's got a lot of small things that need to be done. But let's take a look at some of the good things besides the V8. New clutch, brakes, beautiful. I mean, the brakes almost feel like power brakes. They're so good. The interior is presentable. It needs some finishing, but the seats are nice. The headliner is decent. Glass is pretty good. I've got a crack in a windshield here. All the gauges are good. My radio had worked one time, but it has stopped, so it's all completely stock inside. Back seat is pretty nice too. Windows all work. Respectable carpeting. A little dusty and dirty, but it's pretty decent. Floor is fairly decent. The previous owner had put some fiberglass in. I don't know why, but the floors are in decent shape, and the underside is decent. We don't have any holes here where we've got some rust issues here and there. Somebody had made a fix here at one time, and I do know that the rocker panels had been replaced at one time. Obviously the paint is nowhere near perfect. And we had a couple of imperfections here, which I've kind of sanded out. Now, what's interesting is that I put a new trunk in here. I went to the junkyard and I took apart a couple cars' trunks just to get enough parts to redo the trunk here. So let's take a look. So the trunk has been totally rebuilt. It's dusty, but it's been welded, new panels welded in. So right here where they all get rust, no more rust. Right down here where the spare tire well was, that's an entirely new spare tire well. Sides are good. Now, we do have a problem on this side where you know that there is a bracket that welds into the side and gets water. Well, what happened is it rusted through. So a few years ago, I bought a patch panel. I've got it welded in, but it needs to get finished. I have not finished it. So the patch panel, oh gosh, goes all the way back to here, and you can see that it's welded, but it just needs to get finished. The rest of the car is pretty much as you see it. Roof, no problems. Clean. This thing runs and drives beautifully. You'll have to listen to the engine. I think you'll like it. Like I said, new clutch. Clutch is butter smooth. Hey, we need to have the keys. Let's get the keys out of the trunk. You know, you have to take the keys out to lock it. So, go ahead and we'll lock it. There you go. License plate's good to 2023. Now, let's hop in and start this old girl. Now, you know how to start these, and my chrome ring fell off years ago. I never put it back on. And you know how delicate sometimes these switches can be, so I just left it. Now, I do have an electric fuel pump here because sometimes it definitely gets vapor lock on hot days. So you got that. You will never, ever have a problem. So maybe you can hear it on the video, I don't know, but listen. And we'll turn the switch on. It's hidden under here. It was already on, okay. We don't need it actually because we're cold, so I'm gonna push the clutch in. Got gauges. I've got an auxiliary gauge. When it's driving around, we're getting about 40 to 60 psi oil. Temperature goes up. I think I've got a 180 thermostat, and it never overheats. Okay, here we go. Got a glove box, and it's got cardboard in there, which is good. Clock works. Don't have it wound up, but if you wind it up, and we set the time to oh, I don't know, it's about 7 o'clock here, but we'll just set it for 3 o'clock now. We'll come back and you can see that it has changed, but I think the clock works fairly well. All my gauges work. I don't know if the fuel tank is as accurate as I would like, but we'll, maybe if we get some time here, we'll take it for a ride. But I want to show you how this thing runs. If that isn't a sweet flathead V8 idle, I don't know what is. Smooth and even and happy. It's a happy engine. Quiet. There you go. I mean, I don't know what else you could want in a V8 here. It just is run beautifully. Let's see. There we go. You can hear it out the back. She's a quiet and obedient. Actually, drives pretty peppy. Had it aligned, steers nicely. Kingpins have been replaced, front suspension, tie rods. It may have a little wear, I think, in the upper joints here, but the alignment Jack said shouldn't be a big problem. Some just coming out here. Well, it's a painful old engine, but it sure runs nice. Okay, it goes down the road straight. I mean, the brakes are almost power. So that's it. And you know, like I've said, that you've got a little bit of rust repair, new panel. The other side did not rust out. Not sure why the driver's side did, but I did do the work on the trunk to give us a better gap here. What I did was, the trunk never fit properly for some reason, and I don't think this car has ever been hit. But what I did was I cut very carefully a section of trunk out, and then I welded a rod back in to give us a proper gap. I haven't repainted it, obviously, put a little glue on there, but you can see that the trunk fits beautifully now. Doors and everything close fine. Seat belts, roadworthy. Overdrive works. Transmission whines a little bit in high gear, but I don't know. Maybe that's what they do. But you know, it's, I don't know if I take it on a 500-mile journey, but it's a nice in-town driver. It doesn't use oil. So, solid old girl. Good old shoebox if you wanted something that you just needed to finish and spend a little time with. That's the one. Let's see if I can get a better view. Hood's good, no hail damage. Let's see, I'll close the hood and let you take a look at it. Let's see. There we go. There we go. Nice old Ford. I just don't have room for it anymore. Why am I selling it? I don't have room for it. I don't have time for it. I never drive it. That's why you see it as dusty. There's no dents on the hood. Those are clouds. There's no hail. The thing is, it's just clean as a whistle. It's just a good old car. So there it is, 1950 Ford two-door sedan. Nice and ready to drive.